it's still far too wet to be riding bicycles out and about, so I've come to Hendon Museum. It's supposed to be incredible. Never been here before. It looks pretty good. A major airfield defending London against Zeppelins, Nazi Zeppelins, in the First World War, and it's full of amazing aeroplanes. And this took my breath away a little bit. That is a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, exactly the same as I found in those streams up in Scotland from the Lancaster Bomber. Look at it, beautiful. Rolls-Royce. Love it. Look at that, big lump in it, eh? Okay. And that is an F-35 stealth fighter, I'm going to say. I don't know if they're actually classed as that. I just read about it. It's amazing. It does have that flap on top. As far as I can see of it, it can only vertically land and do very short takeoffs. Dude, that is a mad, mad looking plane. So right behind where the pilot sits, this is that flap that lifts. And under it, like I said, I'm no expert, is that fan that creates massive downforce. 1.27 metre, 2-stage lift fan. I mean, imagine being the pilot, that is just right behind you. And then it says here, look, at the rear, yeah, the engine nozzle on the jet does swivel, goes vertical as well. So, dude, that is an unbelievable piece of engineering, isn't it? What that is capable of, eh? And it's stealth. That is mad. Pretty heavily fortified Sunderland. It's vast, and we can go inside it. Look at the size of the tail on it. It is imagine all that landing on water. Hard to believe, really. I don't know if they'd have been as barren as this. Probably most of the equipment's been ripped out. I don't know. But down the end there, you can definitely see where the tail gunner would have sat. That's pretty wild. Loads of hatches all around it. I guess so you can literally look out of it, or for guns. Probably gun placements, eh? Yeah. Massive. It's massive. And I don't, obviously, because it landed on water, this one, I don't think it had bomb bays. It had this system, and they just would winch them out from here to the wings and then drop them. Mad. Hello mate, how are you? Is this World War One in here? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, World War One, here we come. Gordon Bennett. Apparently this was used in a Gordon Bennett race, whoever he is. 1911 to 1914, this plane, which is pretty mad because the Wright brothers only first flew in 1903. So like within 8-9 years of the first ever aircraft, they were racing them. Look, this thing's from 1915. Could you imagine getting in that? Like, it's held together by bits of wire. It's got no landing, just wheels at the front. The back end of it would slide. It's made of balsa wood. Yeah, forget it. I can't believe it. And it looks to be French, right, by the tail. Why does it carry the RAF insignia? Answers in the comments below. This is a Vickers, one of their first fighters. Pretty mad, actually. Look at the guns on it. I guess the pilot would have to operate those whilst flying. Hangar 6, this looks good. Oh, wow. Oh my God. That looks insane. What is that? Oh, this is a good hangar. Look at the jets in here. Wow. Amazing. Which is fantastic because the whole hangar stinks of oil. Nice. sick view of a Harrier jump jet. Look at that. Below it is a Hawker, don't know which one, but like folding wings for the aircraft carrier. I mean, you imagine like the force is going through them wings, yet they fold like that. I can't believe it. And this, when it's like delta wing, is a Eurofighter, which I've seen up the valleys near Red Bull Hardline. Occasionally they go through. I don't know that much about them, but I believe they're incredibly agile because they're so unstable that without all the electronic aids on them, they'd be unflyable. They'd literally fall out the sky. Look at the intakes on her. Yeah, mad. What a mad shaped plane that is. It looks sick in black, I must say. That's an incredible looking plane, isn't it? That's a pretty sick front on view of a Harrier jump jet, isn't it? That's how it'd look. It was hovering. Intimidating, to say the least. Right, on to the next hangar. I think the Eurofighter might be my favourite looking jet yet. Look at that thing. It looks incredible. This awesome looking thing is a Lightning. Oh man. You know, when the jet's in the like fuselage, not on the wings. Don't know, it looks like they're riding a rocket, doesn't it? Good God, look at it. Huge thing. And this is Britain's first truly supersonic jet, it says. I think, you know, this is like 1960s. Look at it. And I think the Meteor was about now as well. And I don't live too far from Martin Baker's. One day I was out on a mountain bike ride where they do make the ejector seats, and the Meteor came out the end of the runway over my head and gave me a fright. Yeah, it was insane. Look at that. Another massive Rolls-Royce jet engine. That one's called the Avon. What I do know about all the Rolls-Royce engines is they were all named after rivers because the air is supposed to flow through a jet engine like the water through a river. Good fact. I wonder if someone laid in the front of there doing like Mach 10. Can you imagine? Jesus. And this is a Vampire, which, sick name, sick plane, split tail on it. Look at it. Maybe that's what they got at Martin Baker's as well as the Meteor. I'm not sure actually exactly what, but good God, look at that thing. The tail on it is crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure what they got down the road from me, but it might be one of these. Cool, isn't it? This is a Messerschmitt, World War II. Apparently it could out-climb the Spitfires and Hurricanes, but only had enough fuel once it was here for about 20 minutes over southeast England. But yeah, I mean, we're going to say the Spitfires are better, maybe the Germans are going to say that's better, but look at this that I just spotted. Are you tripping? Is that a Lancaster? I think it is. Is it? What is this? Let's go and find out. Because I've never seen a Lancaster in person. Oh my God, that is an Avro Lancaster. Dude, look how big it is. That's what flew into that mountain in Scotland. No way, I had no idea it was... Well, I probably did, but to be stood in front of one, that is absolutely huge. Oh, I guess is that a bomber? Is that? Dude, look at the bomb bays on it. Yeah, because it was a bomber, wasn't it? Oh my God! There's the Merlin engines. There's the wheels. I found a wheel up in Scotland actually, as well. Look at the size of it. Oh my God! I didn't know I was going to see a Lancaster today. The Avro Lancaster in its glory. Look at it. It is absolutely stunning. Gun placement up there, guns on the front. That is incredible. That was worth coming to see. That is actually amazing. God, like a flying fortress as well, eh? Yeah, incredible. And if that is one of the bombs out of it, then it must be like, dude, look at the size of the bombs it would drop. I reckon it could only carry one of them underneath, could it? That is insane. I'm just reading it now. The 22,000 pound Grand Slam and the smaller 12,000 pound tall boy with the specialist weapons devised by Barnes Wallace and all his Brooklyn stuff. They were designed to penetrate deep into the ground where they would collapse any structure. Dude, that is an insane looking plane. And no, that's just undercarriage in it there, no more bomb bays. That has actually made my day seeing that. That's incredible. And I have made contact with a fella that actually, I think he flies in the UK one that is flying, and he said maybe in January I can go and have a look at it with him. So it'd be amazing to see one of these running, wouldn't it? And hear it running, eh? Wow, that is an insane looking aeroplane. I love that. I can't believe one of them flew into that mountain that night, eh? Cool. It's an incredible museum, it really is. Spitfire, look at that. That one actually fought in World War II. You can get that close to it. I love it. Dude, amazing. And this is the Hurricane right next to it. Yeah, mad. And actually the Hurricane was easier to build, a stronger plane, a little bit slower, but it was the Hurricane that had more kills in World War II than the Spitfire actually. Didn't have as cool a name though, did it? Eh? Poor old Hurricane. Simply because there was a lot more of them in service. But yeah, you know, definitely. Oh, look at that, look. 1, 2, 6 Merlin engines right in front of me. Amazing. Another massive flying boat with the props up the top. Look at that, ain't they weird? So while we had the Lancaster Bomber, the Americans had this, the B-17, otherwise known as the Flying Fortress. It's, yeah, an iconic, beautiful alley looking plane. And it didn't have the bomb loading capacity, the bomb carrying capacity actually of the Lancaster. But yeah, of course the Lancaster was better, but that is a nice looking plane. Look at that. Dude, look at all the stud work on it. It's incredible. Look at this batshit crazy looking plane as well. This is a Henkel. He called it the People's Fighter. Sort of reminds me of Mondeo, man, you know, like everybody had one. Cheap, much cheaper to make than the Messerschmitt, jet Messerschmitt they brought in, I think probably towards the end of World War II. Yeah, what a strange looking thing that is, eh? BMW engine on it, look at that. And look at this stunner, P-51 Mustang, I think USA Air Force, developed to be used in Europe, I think, to escort American bombers doing raids into Germany. Big news in there is a Merlin engine, the same as in a Spitfire. Not only does it look good, it's going to sound good too. That is beautiful. I won't. So this is a Westland Lysander. Got an incredibly short landing and takeoff. And it was used to drop agents, special agents, in occupied France, because you know it could land in no space at all. The agent would jump out and be back in the air in a second. So that played its part in World War II as well. That is a beaut, isn't it? Oh, look at this thing. This is a Messerschmitt something Comet. It's a rocket powered aeroplane. What? Now, I don't know much about these things, but I do know that the difference between a jet and a rocket is that a rocket is the same except it has its own air source, as I believe it, right? Dude, that is a mad looking thing. And it says here on this board about it, it can do 600 miles an hour. That was not for propulsion. So yeah, I might be right about the rocket, because there's no inlets on it, obviously, anyway. You'd have thought with the rocket coming out the back, it'd have a big hole here at the front. So it must have carried its own air? I don't know. You can tell me in the comments below. But it was a mad thing. This is just a little turbine to create some electrical power. It had a 7.5 minute flight time, and they used to send it up to intercept British bombers. They do their business and then literally just glide back down to earth. A rocket. What crap, man. And this, judging by its huge wingspan, I do know, because I've seen it, it shows all over the place. It's a Vulcan bomber. Look at that. Oh my god. And I reckon the Vulcan bomber carried nukes. I might be wrong. Go and have a look at the information board, innit? Quite impressive. Look at the size of the bomb bay. This is amazing. Hendon is amazing. You can get in here. Dude, that would have carried nuclear bombs in there. That's insane. Oh my god, look how big this is. It's mad. That is actually mad. Incredible. To give you some idea of the wingspan, we're under it now. Still going. Still going. It is absolutely massive. Incredible. Yeah. What a mad plane. This is a Mosquito bomber, faster than the Lancaster. Came in at the end of World War II, and yet another plane. And it's so nice to see so many of these about. To use a Merlin engine, eh? Dude, that engine was insane in World War II. This is a crashed Halifax. It was trying to destroy a German battleship hidden in a Norwegian fort. It got shot down or took damage. Merlins again, landing on a frozen lake somewhere in Norway. Look at that. Now this is a Stuka, German Stuka, which I kind of recognise because of the wings going up like that. It's what we knew as a dive bomber, and madly enough, this is what they would have dived in Dunkirk. I didn't know that from watching the film, but they fitted it with sirens so that it would scream as it dived. You imagine how terrifying. Like, we've all heard it on World War II films. And this mad looking thing is a Japanese, what we would call, or I would call, a kamikaze pilot's plane. It's actually like a piloted flying bomb. It ain't got wheels on the bottom because you ain't going to land it, I suppose. You're just going to crash it into something. That's insane. I just can't get over that, stood here looking at that. Someone would have got in that, some young Japanese lad, and would have known he wasn't coming back once he took off. Doesn't even look like it can land. Dude, war is gnarly, eh? That is insane. Good God. Look how small it is. That is absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I can't get over it. So that is the RAF Museum London, RAF Hendon as I'd call it. Brilliant day out. Is it better than Duxford? It's up there. It's got that, the Lancaster. I've had an incredible time. This has been amazing. Like or subscribe.